Hello, everybody. Rodney here. Hope all is doing well. If you guys aren't busy and you want to join me, I'll put the link in the chat. This is just kind of an informal, I got nothing better to do on a Friday afternoon live stream. And thought I'd pop in here and just say hi, give everybody an update. I don't know how many of you saw Johnny Drone Flyer's live stream this morning, but I popped on there real quickly. My surgery went well on Wednesday afternoon. As you can tell, I'm not wearing my glasses. That's because I see really clear right at the moment. And just with my left eye, my right eye is still kind of cloudy, but come April 23rd, it will also be fixed. So I'll be doing good. Let's see, we got Drone Psyche, we got Hot Rod and Daytona, we got Ray Kelly, we got Chris Wedgeworth, Alex Escardo. Good afternoon, guys. Glad you can join me. Andrew, good morning. Chris, Jackson RC Aviation, good morning. Like I said, if any of you all care to pop in here, I put the link in the stream. And I would really love for you guys to join me. Yeah, Ray, the audio, my audio probably was good. But I couldn't hear what Johnny and Captain Joe was saying. So, and I couldn't stay very long anyway because I was at work and I just took about a 5-minute break and popped on. But like I was saying, as you can see, I'm doing well. Man, I tell you what, I haven't been about as excited about anything as I am this. I can see really clear now. I mean, even with my right eye being bad still, it's just, I got you, Charlie. But even with the right eye still being bad, I see really clear, and I am just tickled to death. So it didn't take long. I mean, yesterday in the morning, it was still blurry. But by yesterday afternoon, it got real clear, and I was able to go without my glasses. And there's things I can't do still. I can't bend over. I can't lift more than 30 pounds. I'm not supposed to get. No, I had cataract surgery, Andrew. And that's what I'm going to have on the other eye is cataract surgery. So I'm not so sure that LASIK would have helped me in this case because of the cataracts, but the cataracts in the left eye is gone. I got a multifocal lens put in, so I'll be able to see both near and far. Now, as far as near is concerned, I'll probably still need some reading glasses, but other than that, it shouldn't be too bad. So, but like I said, man, it's changed my whole world. As most of you know, I had our bathroom done and we had it painted white. And I thought it was white, but it was more of a dingy yellow than it was white because of my cataracts. But yesterday when my eye finally got to where I could see, I went in and man, I closed my right eye and that bathroom just lit up like like a light. It was just as white as could be. I am just so tickled to death. Did they activate X-ray vision? No. Never even thought to ask about that, Alex. That's a good point. Maybe I can maybe they can activate it when I go in for the right eye. That would be cool. Be dangerous, but cool. Captain Ray in the house.
What? Hey, Rod.
Oh, hey, man. Look at you.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. How about yourself?
All right, pretty good. Yeah. I'm just sitting here by the pool.
I kind of thought that's where you were at.
Yeah, I would have put on a shirt, but I can't read the chat anymore. So.
Oh, you can't?
No. So hello everybody in the chat. I know I said hello to Alex. He was the last person.
Yeah, we got Andrew in the chat, Alex Escardo, Jackson RC. Yeah, you probably said hi to most of them. But Chris Wedgeworth, of course, the infamous Ray Kelly's in the house. Drone Guy 42 Adventures. Good morning, or good listen to me. Good morning. Good afternoon. Let me make some changes here for you. Let's see.
I feel funny. I got to put on my shirt, Rodney.
You look dirty.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Doesn't he look like he's been working in the dirt? No, I haven't seen Steve Carpenter in a while. He did make a couple of posts on a couple of my videos here recently, so I know he must still be kicking around, but he's probably been pretty busy lately.
I'm not used to this on the iPhone.
Oh, you're not?
So you all packed and ready to come to Florida, Rodney?
Well, I'm not packed yet, but it won't take me long to pack. I'll probably get packed up Thursday afternoon when I get home from work, and then I'll leave here around 3:30 in the morning to get to the airport to catch my 5:30 flight, and I should be into Stewart. I'm guessing around maybe 2-3 o'clock. I think I'll get in close to check-in time. So
I'm having a hard time hearing too. Sorry. That's why I'm putting my ear next to the phone.
Okay.
No, it's too windy to fly. I was going to fly here by the beach, Jupiter Beach, but it's just too windy.
Too windy? Well, I was just outside my front door here and flew a battery to see what it was going to be like flying with the correction in the eye. Pretty much the same as it was before, really. A little bit more clear, that's for sure.
Anyway, as Les just went by me. I got him involved with drones. But anyway, so I'm going to fly tomorrow morning, Rodney. I'm going to fly and film a half marathon race.
Really?
Yeah, there's a half marathon on Singer Island, and they run and they go over this Blue Heron Bridge, it's called. So I'm going to set up right by the bridge, and I'm going to fly and film the runners going over the bridge and going back over it. Not over the people, of course, but...
Yeah. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Rodney.
How you
Captain.
doing?
How you doing?
What's up, brother? I see you're at home.
Yeah, I got off early.
Oh, cool.
We're getting ready to...
on a weekend, right?
What's that?
Nothing wrong with that on a weekend.
No, we're getting ready to... we're going up to Williams Grove Speedway to watch some dirt racing later on.
Oh, yeah?
There's Pilot Mason.
Hey, Mason.
Hello. You know that...
Mason. What's happening? How you doing, Mason?
I'm good. You see the part of the tree, you always see the branch.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, we just stopped in. We're getting ready to do some...
Probably a lot of background. I'm going to move location.
we got some RC trucks that we got to do some video on, so we're going to do that. And
oh, okay.
it's windy here too, but it don't stop us.
Well, it normally don't stop me. In fact, I even drove over to the church this afternoon after I got off work.
Right.
We had a bunch of rain yesterday, and then the field at the church is just like a little lake.
Gotcha.
I opted. In fact, it's got so much water on it. It was even coming up on the patio area in front of the door where I usually fly from. So I just said,
Right.
I'm gonna go ahead and take off. Hey, Andrew,
So
what's
Hey,
up,
Andrew.
man?
you look like you were at the beach.
I'm sorry.
Ray looked like he was at the beach.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He was at the pool. I guess that's close enough.
Yeah, the beach is right here.
Rodney, we're gonna try to get back down your way soon.
All right, brother.
We're gonna try anyway.
Okay, well, whatever you can.
So,
Give me
It's
a
nice
holler.
over
Let
there
me
for
know.
flying there, Ray.
do what?
You could fly from right where you're standing.
Well, it is up.
You talking to Ray?
Ray, you can fly from right where you're standing.
I know. It's too windy though. It's like 20-mile-an-hour winds.
Ooh.
Hey, Rod.
Go Army.
Go Navy.
Go, Rod.
I'm going to tomorrow. Too bad there aren't more people down here already. Ken and I are going flying with another guy tomorrow. So
Where you gonna fly?
Wow.
up by St. Augustine.
Oh, okay.
Doing
St.
that.
Augustine.
We're doing that.
The St. John's Fairgrounds in St. Augustine's where we're
What?
flying.
Drone Guy 42 says, Ray, send it with the Maverick 3.
Hey, Rod, have you heard from Ken Upbauer?
Yeah, this morning. Why?
How's he doing? He's not going back to work yet, right?
Not yet. So his plan is he'll be there.
Good. I'm glad. That's going to be great.
Unless we have like a breakout of tornadoes and he has to run off or something like that.
I doubt it. I doubt that.
You never know. What he
won't-
does is dependent upon disasters throughout the state. So you never
That's
know.
not going to happen this year.
Might happen
That
more
won't
this
happen
year.
this year, right, Ray?
I know. No hurricanes. No. It looks like the forecast is going to be great too.
As of this morning, yesterday when you were or Wednesday when you were talking about it, they were still showing rain for Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Somebody sent me the weather today, and it was going to be really nice. Oh, Rob Kamada.
Much as of, like I said, as of this morning, yeah, it did. There's still a small chance, but it's saying it's partly cloudy. But it went from being like 50% chance of rain to like 25% chance of rain. So
We all know. Just wait 5 minutes, and the weather will change.
yeah, that was kind of always the hope that the forecast was a little too far out. So they didn't quite know, but it looks like this morning that they got it dialed in a bit better.
Just had a catastrophe.
Yeah, you can't ever tell about the weather. We used
I
to
got
say
to try
in
something, Brad.
Texas.
I want to try something.
All right. When I lived in Texas, we used to say if you don't like the weather, wait an hour, it'll change.
Oh, hey Rodney, I did get something.
Alex.
Actually,
Alex
I
is
got,
smart.
I got a few things, but
What's up?
let's see if it
What's
shows up.
up?
So my Nazgul now has purple skid pads
Oh, cool.
to go with the props and the LEDs. And that kit that I got also had the GoPro mount, so the GoPro mount's purple as well. And it's got the GPS and the antenna mount in a purple too. I just didn't get them put on last night. But I'm probably gonna switch those to purple.
Yeah.
And I'll be back in a second. I'll show you something else that came in yesterday.
Well, Alex, how are you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. I'm psyched.
Lunch
I'm so
hour?
stoked.
Me too. I'm getting excited, and I'm gonna be there with no glasses. No glasses.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
right. That's good.
You got to put your Blues Brothers sunglasses on, though, right?
Well,
Recognizes Rodney without glasses on.
there you go.
Oh, yeah. You look cool now, Rodney.
Hey, Rodney, you got, when you wear those, you got to say, "I'll be back."
I'll be back. Actually, I went on Amazon this morning and bought a pair of aviation sunglasses,
Oh, okay.
and I'm going to change my channel name to Maverick.
Are the shades polarized there,
Oh,
Rodney?
no,
I'll get my truck so we can do a video. I don't know,
Hey,
Brandon.
now
I'll take it to
you
the
guys
garage.
all know, you know that Alex is the mayor of Miami, don't you?
Yeah.
Unofficial mayor of Miami.
the mayor of Miami.
I don't have the wallet of the mayor.
What do you
So
got, the
anyways.
small wallet or the big wallet?
Well,
The small one.
So these are VCI Yuki edition. 2207 2050 kV.
Yeah.
That eventually I'm gonna put on the NASCAR as well. It actually make the NASCAR even faster than it already is.
Ooh.
So VCI apparently is Gem Fan. It's the sister company to Gem Fan, but it's basically Gem Fan.
Okay.
So
But
how
that
fast?
purple matches the props and all this.
Good deal.
How fast can it go? Faster than
Yes.
it should.
How fast do you? Much faster do you think it'll go?
I don't know.
Faster than is legal.
Andrew,
that,
where
Freddie
are you
Anthony?
located?
I didn't
I'm in
realize there
South
was
Carolina.
a speed limit.
FPV is 99.9.
I'm in South Carolina.
I'll just say I had
South
a tax.
Carolina.
It's a ways to Florida.
Yeah, that's it.
What part of South Carolina, Andrew?
Yeah.
About 40 minutes from the North Carolina border.
Oh, okay.
Are you by 95?
That's about at least an hour and a half east of here.
Oh,
It's about
so
nine-
You're more over by
out
Columbia.
west.
Yeah, I'm like an hour west of Columbia.
Oh, Columbia. Yeah, okay.
Okay. I've been through Columbia.
I went and saw Sheriff Lott in Richland County.
Who?
The sheriff, Leon Lott.
Oh,
the
the sheriff.
of Richland County, South Carolina.
I got you.
How do you know him?
Well,
I just stopped, sent him an email, and stopped. Said I wanted to meet him, so he invited me to his office.
where's Brandon Hippo? Where's Brandon Hippo? I don't see that.
I want to race Ray's Mavic with my domain.
Oh, we know who'd win that race.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I'd win that race in about half a second.
I know.
That domain that I have is a 3.5 inch
Rod,
6S, and that
Rod-
thing is
What is that, Randy?
Hey,
ungodly
Rod, look at
fast.
that.
Rod's
What is-
Nazgul versus Jackson's
What is
Nazgul.
my Bando killer? Oh, the Bando. That's the Bando killer.
Rod, you got to coordinate the FPV races with Johnny on the second day.
I don't know. I'm gonna get off.
You gonna be there the second day?
Put that shit
I'm
up.
not a racer. I do it for fun. So
Right.
Oh, what's the other thing?
Somebody's got to bring the gates.
All right, Chris, you come
Ooh.
down. You got to coordinate it.
So, Chris, what's that quad got in it?
That's the Bando killer. I told
Oh,
you guys.
Bando killer. Okay.
It's got key loaders for 2207,
Ah,
What
okay.
KV?
all 4S.
Got it. So the other thing that happened yesterday, Rodney, actually about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So I landed kind of hard, and the battery
You can still
pulled
see analog
out of the
or whatever.
connector.
So, man.
What was that?
And I said I landed the thing kind of hard, and the battery pulled out of the connector.
Uh-huh.
So what we ended up doing is, you can kind of see it. So we cut that connector off and added a pigtail that runs all the way to the back.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see that it comes back here.
Yeah.
So I put the battery back there, and now there's like zero stress and zero issue with that stupid connector like dropping power on the drone. I've literally had the drone fall out of the sky because that connector acted weird.
Hey, Dawn.
Yeah. Every now and then you need to go in and spread out the pins.
So
Hey, Hot Rod, now that you're into
Good
FPV,
afternoon.
how's the addiction?
I fly all the time. Actually, to answer that question, the number of times I fly has probably gone down now. Simply because I've gotten to that point where I've really learned kind of all the basic kinds of things. I don't feel like I'm like training anymore. The training wheels are kind of off, so I don't feel the need to sort of fly like every day. But when I do go fly, I'll go fly 20, 30 batteries.
Wow.
I literally will go fly 4+ hours and just stay at it. So,
I've said it before. I admire all you guys that can fly FPV.
Do you fly
FPV? You
FPV?
guys are awesome.
Alex, have you tried it? FPV?
I've not tried it, but man, I can't even play Pong.
Hey,
I was horrible at asteroids.
Alex,
Yeah.
if I can learn to fly FPV, you can too, man.
It would take me a lot longer. But listen, I was just talking to Tolly, Kevin Tolly, and he was telling me he was like practicing every day, and I'm like, man, I wish I had time every day to like sit there and do it.
Well, that's the big thing.
You're not.
Lloyd can fly FPV, Alex.
30%.
Yeah,
Grumpy
yeah.
vlogger.
Yeah, he's using the Avata, right? I think.
I think so.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's got some. I think he's got some other ones too.
Yeah.
You
Well,
talking
I
about
heard he's
Lloyd
coming,
Bennett?
so it'll be cool to
Yeah,
meet him.
Lloyd.
Oh yeah, I know he's been playing the Avata. He likes the Avata.
You ain't flying it back here.
Because I think Rodney and Grumpy Vlogger have flown together.
Yeah, we have actually.
Oh yeah.
Last year in January, just before my mom passed away, I was out there visiting, and I every time I go back there, I try to make it a point to visit him. And that day we got to visit him and my cousin, because my cousin lives in Muskogee as well. So I don't know if y'all know it. Lloyd's going to be at the South Florida Drone Meetup.
Yep.
Oh.
I'm looking forward to meeting him.
Yep. Yeah, he's a good guy, man. And Judy was a good person. So
yeah,
I'm predicting Lloyd is going to fly his drone more often now.
Possibly.
He'll have time.
Yeah, I think he'll probably make a few more meetups as well. Maybe
that's good.
That is good.
Yeah.
So Tim Jackson. Good afternoon or good evening to you, I guess it is.
Was it somebody planning a Texas one?
We're rolling out there,
Rodney, my screen is getting real dark now. So
okay, Chris, you have a good day, brother.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good day, everybody.
Gonna get some jet fuel.
That's Chris. Chris is leaving.
We're gonna get some jet fuel going
Apparently
on.
Ray's leave it too.
Oh,
get a tan, Ray. Get a tan.
I don't know how to shut it off.
Uh-oh. I didn't realize it. I thought he was leaving because he assumed we were leaving. But
I think the sun's too bright for him to see the screen.
Rob Stanton, good afternoon.
Rodney, you want to kick Ray?
I'm sorry?
You want to, because he's still
in StreamYard.
He's still floating.
Just black.
Oh, okay. Okay. Huh.
There you go.
Okay. So, but yeah, I just got on here just because I didn't have much else. Oh, here he's back.
He was having a problem.
Welcome back.
No. I'm trying to get out of here. Sorry, guys. I figured it out.
I thought you were leaving.
He got it. He figured it out.
So, Alex, I do have some advice for you.
Yeah.
Get something like the Avata. Don't worry about the sticks. Fly it with the motion controller and just have fun.
Yeah. I'm going to hold on to the Avata 2 comes out and research that, and I might get that. That's why I didn't get the first Avata. I knew there was going to be a number 2, so
Yeah.
There's always gonna be a next one. There is one thing that they changed on the motion controller 3 that I'm interested in, especially if it's going to work with the original Avata, because I don't really need that Avata 2.
Hey,
drone.
Jody. Good afternoon, brother. Drone
But-
shots in the house.
On the original or on the motion controller 2, they added the thumbstick. But what they did was they kept the brake, the little orange brake button that you use to start up, shut down, and all that on the left, and they put that thumbstick on the right. So for right-handed flyers, getting to that stick and try to control it and use your thumb is, you better have a long ass thumb. Is all I got to say. It's a long stretch. On the 3, they reversed those two. They reversed those 2 buttons. So now the thumbstick is right in the natural way that a right-handed flyer will hold that motion controller now. So the thumbstick could be way more useful in that motion 3.
So Rob Stanton's asking if anybody's tried the Spectra Air yet.
Yeah, half chrome.
Yeah, Half Chrome's got a couple of videos on it, and it sounds like it's going to be all right.
on Drone Nation
How
on
can
Monday,
it-
Ken announced that he was purchasing it, and he would probably put out a video.
How can it not be all right? It is the DJI.
Oh,
Magtech
Magtech
took it apart. It's got the DJI P1 OcuSync chip in it.
Well, nobody said it wasn't, Rod.
Yeah.
You can tell it's almost an exact copy, and I don't know what all the other rumors are, but my guess is that DJI licensed that go to the whatever.
There's a rumor that DJI has another company that they're going to use if they ban DJI.
And you know what's going to happen?
In the States.
You know what's going to happen? A week later, Congress will pass another law, and they'll ban that one too.
Possible.
You know, they're kind of acting like Russia with the sanctions and trying to work around the sanctions. It doesn't exactly. If you're trying to look better for the U.S. government or against the DoD, this is probably not the way to go about it, because you're just re-emphasizing why they're nervous about you in the first place.
Instead of connecting that new entity to DJI, they should create just a new entity altogether.
So
separate.
So they already know, because people did track the IP addresses of the updates that controller was doing. It goes to DJI servers in China. It goes the exact same place that your DJI drone goes to. And in fact, some of the assemblies that are actually updates on that thing still have DJI in the name. That's how DJI this thing is. There are no servers for Spectra. They're DJI servers that do the update.
So is it essentially DJI Spectra?
Yes.
Air.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
So
they're going to do it for the sanctions. They're going to do it for the sanctions, and all I got to say is good luck.
So it's the equivalent of the Air 3 then, or
yes.
Air 2S.
They're coming out with all. They're coming out with all of them.
Yeah, if you the post or the link to Half Chrome's video is in the chats. Drone Shots posted it there, Jody, and you ought to go check that out. Half Chrome seems quite enthused about it.
It is an Air 3.
Huh?
It is an Air 3 minus a few labels here and there. It is an Air 3. The chip numbers on the chips are absolutely identical. All they did was erase the DJI off.
Here, brother.
I think Jody's got a point there.
3. I know that. Wow. He even says it is.
Rod, it'll be interesting to see what happens, though.
He's not trying to sell it as a different product.
I think Jody has a point there. They could rename the firmware to Spectra.
Yeah, but if the IP addresses go back to DJI, the NSA is going to know it.
Well, it depends on.
Basically, they could change. Basically, they'll change the law and go not only manufactured there, but if your infrastructure is in China. Voila.
Right now, NSA is focused on the Middle East at the moment.
The good
in
news
China.
is, right? The good news is there is a way around this, and I think DJI is taking the wrong way of going about what they're doing. And I've talked about this on a few shows. Germany, 2014, passed some privacy laws that were even stricter than the GDPR for Europe. And obviously, Microsoft runs our cloud stuff, and we wanted to make sure that we didn't fall astray of their privacy laws that they had in Germany. We built data centers in Germany. Our money, our dollars, built the physical buildings, put all the freaking computers in there, and then handed it over to a German company with German employees that has nothing to do with us. So that if any government like the U.S. comes and says, hey, we want some data and it's from ain't ours, you can't legally make us do anything with it. DJI could have done something similar by putting their own contracting with somebody in the U.S. to essentially run their infrastructure to update the drones that are in the U.S. so that the update and the software gets reviewed before the updates by a U.S. company. This problem would go away. End of story. They wouldn't have to do what they're doing. Literally wouldn't have to do what they're doing. As long as those updates happen in the U.S. and can be controlled in the U.S. and the software can be constantly reviewed by a U.S. company that's running the infrastructure, then the problem goes away.
So hire an American company to review all this.
Not only review it, but run the DJI infrastructure in the U.S., which means all the servers that do the updates, all the log servers, right, where all the flight logs are going. As long as all of that all happens in the U.S. and is controlled by a U.S. company. Look what they're doing with TikTok. The deal with TikTok is they want them to divest TikTok so that it's owned by a company other than somebody in China. So it's kind of a similar kind of situation.
I heard one of the people that's interested in buying it is Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank.
He wants to buy it cheap. That's why.
He and a group of other investors want to move data center here to the US or Canada.
That would probably be the better route for DJI to take, is to do something like that, and then they're being really open about solving the problem that the Department of Defense and the NSA and CISA all have with their software. It's more about the software than it actually is the drone.
Maybe their software needs to be updated.
The updates need to be updates need to be controlled inside the U.S. Is basically what it boils down to.
Because NSA and whoever else, I mean, their software is probably old that they're using.
That the NSA is using?
Yeah.
Oh. You and I need to talk offline.
So
they're about 50 years ahead of everybody else.
Oh.
Who's that? DJI?
So that's a great question, and I think the answer to that question, at least the way I've heard it, was that they were going to ban them from using any communications, which would mean the ones that we have now too. That's the scary part. I'm with everybody. I'd love to not. I'd love to not see this go down, but I understand why it's going down because I work in that.
Because that bill is still in the early stages of being in the Senate and the House and that.
Yeah. Again, it's where are the lines that they've put in there? So
I think that one was at least Stefanik bill.
Until it's passed, and anything is possible until it passes, right? They could completely throw it out. They could make it 100 times worse. Who knows?
I can't really see them banning it. I think they're going to grandfather it in. If you've already bought it, you can still fly it. Because
For the consumer side, I could see them doing that. For the government side, not a chance.
No, the government side is different. But my understanding was this bill was pertaining only to the government. That government agencies, state and federal, cannot buy DJI drones. That was my understanding of it. Now it may
that's already been in effect. But they allow so many exceptions is ignored.
Not grandfathering DJI drones for people that already owns them.
So they were going to put them on the FCC list this time, which was going to ban them from using any communications inside the U.S., which would be everything, consumer and government.
Well,
that's why everybody's upset, and they should be.
There's quite a few government entities in the U.S. Between state and local level that use DJI drones, for searches.
Oh yeah. No arguments. But you know what's coming, right? You know what's coming.
Maybe
there's a chance it's coming.
If they try to do with guns, that they'll have a buyback.
2027. You know what's coming, right? I mean, it's damn near got a date written in stone when it's going to happen.
What's that? 2027.
When China goes into Taiwan, if not sooner.
Oh.
All of this, I'm telling you, Rodney, go back and look before World War II, the crap that we did to Japan and the embargoes and everything else that we put in place. This is what's going on. This is literally what's going on. This is about the war that they all know is coming. This is prep for that. That's why any of us trying to convince them to not do this is not going to be listened to.
Maddie,
that's an interesting theory.
They're not going to listen. It's the DOD that is driving this, Rodney. It is 100% the DOD. It is software coming from a country that we are very, very likely to go to war with.
I get
this
that.
is why it's going. This is why it's going down.
It's possible. Let's just send our carrier group that's in the Middle East over, our biggest PAL group, and send it over to Taiwan.
Hello, the Chinese just built a missile that can shoot planes out of the sky from 1,200 miles away. Our problem is they've got shit to keep us far enough out to cause us severe problems, and we know it. We're also, if you've been watching the news, we're starting to try to open up new, well, I won't say new bases, but old bases that we used during World War II on the islands to have as secondary landing for our air forces in Asia Pacific, because we know China for a fact is going to take out some of our main bases. They know that.
Some of those need a lot of work because they've been in.
Oh yeah, no doubt. But most people don't realize that we're spending money to go refurbish those and open them back up. Solomons, Marshalls, all over, all those little islands out there. Yeah, we're quickly. The Air Force is quickly working on building those back up so that they can use them as alternate landing.
Do they have the money to do it?
It's going on now. I'm telling you, both sides are prepping for war right now. Everything.
You're depressing me, bro.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
Yeah. Right. I'm about to kick you off, brother.
Let's hope not. Let's hope they all come to their flipping senses, right?
All you soldiers are warmongers, man.
Yeah. Hey, it's the Navy. It's the Navy that's working on establishing more bases and stuff out there too, for the same reason.
You got to be able to support the ships and the airplanes.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Well, 100%. We have a base that we haven't used in 50 years, and now the Navy wants to recommission it. back
Well,
into
we're doing
it.
the same. We're doing the same thing in the Philippines. We just opened that new one in the southern Philippines. Let us go in and open that old base in southern Philippines, so that we're as close as we
You
can
talking
get
about
to
Subic
Taiwan.
Bay?
I don't know. I don't remember if it was Subic Bay.
It
It was
wouldn't be
somewhere. It
Subic
was
Bay.
somewhere. It was somewhere in the. It was somewhere in the south.
Okay, if it's in the southern, then it
Far
wouldn't be
south.
Subic Bay. But Subic
Yeah.
Bay is pretty much turned into a resort area, and I doubt that the
Yeah.
Philippines would let the Navy come back
No,
in.
it was in the south. I mean, far south of the
Personally, I
Philippines.
don't think they should have ever closed the base in the Philippines.
Yeah, me neither.
But
So,
I didn't have a
anyways,
say at it.
keep your fingers crossed that both sides come to their senses. But you have to also understand the inverse is going on. The Chinese government just announced that they're kicking out Intel, AMD, and Microsoft products from all government computers. None of those will be used on any of their stuff. And you know why they're doing it? For the same reason we're doing what we're doing. Because they're worried about the NSA coming through. And they're not wrong. That was the part about the Snowden thing.
So now
that was
Maddie's
bad.
Drone World. Good afternoon, brother.
Anyways, if you want to have a nice long conversation about all this, yeah, hit me up sometime. Let's pray it doesn't happen. I'm with all of you. I get it. We just want to fly our drones and have fun. But hopefully they can figure out how to do what they want to do, how they can do what they want to do, and still let us do that.
Well, when it boils down to it, I've got 4 quads that are sub 250, so I'm perfectly happy.
Mm.
I mean, because I don't have when I fly the Baby Hawks and the Smart 35s, I don't have to worry about RID. And I've even bought smaller 4S batteries. These are I forgot what 400 mAh, and they give me about 5 minutes of flight time, and that's good enough for me.
Oh yeah, it's just about having fun. And you're right, and I'm sure everybody's thinking the same thing. If they like ban it out of the skies or like try to rip it out of everybody's heads, yeah, you're going to see the most massive non-compliance that we've probably ever had in the U.S. If they try to do that. So we all know what it's like. How many cars obey the speed limit on I-95, Rodney?
yeah.
It's going to be about the same, right? Hey, there's a lot of it. Yeah, right. Yeah,
part
sure,
of 95 is a raceway, for God's sake.
I travel down 95, and I'm doing. I normally do about 5-10 miles over the speed limit myself. I'll openly say that, and there are people still passing me.
In Florida, 80 is like the minimum speed limit, and I'm telling you, I think most people think 95 is the speed limit, not the highway. In Florida, you will see a ton of people.
He's right.
That fast.
Because a lot of people in South Carolina drive at 85 miles an hour on the highway.
The cops won't even bother to do anything. You go by them at 80 miles an hour, and they did okay, whatever. As long as you're not like weaving and going in and out and annoying other people, they'll just leave you alone, let you go.
Lance Cadena, good afternoon. Let me go through the chats real quick. See if I missed anybody besides Maddie's Drone World and Lance Cadena. No, they're the 2 newest ones. No.
I just hope the Avata 2 is quiet or quieter.
They say it is. They say it's quieter.
When is it coming out, roughly? Like
April 11th is the rumor.
So the rumor is that the fine date is April 11th?
Mm-hmm. That'd be the launch date. What day of the week is that?
I don't know because it's leap year.
Wednesday. This Friday, the 4th. Oh, that's a Thursday. It's the Thursday after the South Florida
'Cause
drone
I
meetup.
think they changed the name of the new one, right? Instead of Avada 2, it's something else, right?
No, it's Avada 2.
Oh,
That's what's on the box is Avada 2. That name, that Avanox name, was just sort of the project name internally for DJI.
everybody assumed it was going to be Evanox was the official name.
Uh-oh.
You know,
Alex,
software.
I think we lost Alex.
Every
Alex,
software company has a project name for whatever the project is, some release is, and it doesn't always ever coordinate to what the actual marketing name becomes once you release the product. So
He's back. Welcome back, Alex.
Yeah, I think I went through towers between towers.
yeah, you obviously did switch cell towers. Yeah.
But I was gonna say, because I live in a highly residential and area, and the houses are like arm lengths apart. So in Nevada, something noisy, it would just drive the neighbors batty.
So less than 20 to 40 feet apart.
They're yeah, about 20 feet apart.
Yeah.
So
that's one of the big codes around here.
So Rodney, there may be one problem with that Avada 2 for us flyers. So they added that 60 and that 80 megahertz bandwidth. It's going to bleed over on the channels. So if you're on if that thing's on like channel 4 using that thing, it's going to be bleeding over on 3 and 5. It's going to hit each channels on each side of it. So we may run into a problem with it.
If it's using the 03, they only, because when I fly my 5-inch 6S, the Quad Mula with the 03 on it, it doesn't use channels 1 through 7. It uses A, B, C, and whatever.
But we may run into an issue with the higher bandwidths with somebody with an Avada 2 stepping on other people.
Yeah.
Because of that wide bandwidth. It's not going to be limited to a single channel. It's actually going to be bleeding over on the side channels.
I think an update might fix that.
Yeah, don't use the 80 megahertz bandwidth so that you don't step on the other channels.
So Rob Stanton is wondering if the price will drop on the Avada 1. I imagine
not a chance.
Usually it does.
Drop on the Avada 1, not the price of the Avada.
Price will drop.
Yeah. It's already dropped. It dropped a bunch.
When the 2 comes out, the Avada 1 will drop.
So the Explorer model with the Integra goggles is down to $869 or something like that. I thought about it just to get the goggles. I wanted a set of Integras, not for me, but to have as spectator goggles, so I can let people go along for ride along.
Is that a decent deal though?
Oh, that's a great deal. You know, the goggles
compared to $1,300.
It's worse than that. The goggles 2 version. The goggles 2 version was $1,400, and the Integra version was, as Alex said, $1,300. It was $1,289 or something like that. You might as well just round it up. It was $1,300 and almost $1,500 with the goggles 2. So I got the Avada when the Avada released, and the Avada plus the Fly More kit plus the Care Refresh in my shopping cart was effectively $2,000 for that. It wasn't cheap. It's still not cheap.
So if you wanted to buy an Avada, if you bought it off of Amazon, they have it, the basic kit, the Explorer combo, which is the goggles, the
controller,
the detector goggles, motion controller, and the drone itself for $829.
$829. Okay, a little lower than I remembered.
How many batteries?
One.
Just one. It's just the basic kit.
That's a good price. That's a great price because it was almost $1,300. So yeah, if you want one, there you go.
That's about 500 less than.
Or if that's all you can afford, that nothing wrong with that one versus spending another
And, I
six,
think if
$700 for an Avata 2, probably.
no matter what drone, I would recommend 2 batteries just in case.
It's an FPV drone, at least 3.
I know,
You're
but
only
just
going to
in
get
case, no, just in
14,
case
15
one
minutes
battery
of flight
goes,
time.
in case
Well,
one
wait, you
battery
got to
goes,
consider the life of the goggles too.
Oh,
Right.
the goggles. So the Integra goggles, just an example, and probably Joe Fodalia is better to answer that question. You can get a good 9, 10, 11 flights out of the Integras.
I'll be right back, guys.
So
Yeah, because if the goggles, so what is that, about an hour and a half on the goggles without having to recharge?
yeah, I'm not sure. I don't have the Integras. I got the goggles too with the replaceable battery. I have 3 batteries. I've never used 3. I've used 2.
Yeah.
I've run through 2. I've run through 2 of them flying my FPV drones. But I have my EcoFlow and charge everything up.
But don't you think if someone was in the market for the original Avata, if they wait a couple of months after the release of the Avata 2, instead of $800, they can get a pre-owned for like $500?
Right now, well, if you go to things like eBay and things like that where people are trying to unload them, yes, I would agree with you.
because
You can actually get it cheaper. Look at Amazon Renewed. I tell everybody, if you're looking for a drone and you're not looking for the brand new latest and greatest, always go look at Amazon Renewed and see what you can get it for, because you will save yourself dollars, and it is as good as new.
Because
Through Amazon, not a third
Through
party
Amazon.
vendor.
Through Amazon.
Amazon has a section where if it's open and still brand new, but you outside the return window, you send it back and they send it to this warehouse, and this section is just filled with stuff like that. Or it has one scratch on it, so they take
Yeah,
how many
a
$100
bunch of
off.
open box stuff. Yeah. But that's a great way to get a drone, is Amazon, through Amazon Renewed, and just wait.
I don't know, man. After that earlier conversation, I may not buy another one.
Well, as we talked about, it's going to be just like this. It's going to be just like speed limits. It will be ignored just like speed limits. So
Okay,
you'll be fine.
What big update are we expecting from the new one? The new Avata 2.
Well, it's 04. It uses standard props instead of custom props to them. They've reversed the motors. It's props up instead of props down. They've lengthened the weight out sort of down the center of the drone, so it should be much more well
That wasn't me
balanced
this time.
versus the Avata, which is top heavy with the battery and the way they did the battery mount and all that kind of stuff. So
I didn't know if
it will fly better for sure.
I didn't know if it would be the battery length for how long you can run it, or if it'd be a big
More
camera
battery life.
upgrade.
There is that. It's got the Action 4 camera sensor, which is still 1/1/3, I think. So it will be
unless
better.
it's a big up in certain aspects, it's a big upgrade. Not a lot of people are going to be interested in the Avata 2.
Camera wise, it's not a big upgrade. It's a incremental, probably at best. Maybe a little more than incremental. It depends on what they did with sort of adjusting. The one problem you have with any of the O3s, even the O3 on my FPV drones, the one thing that drives me a little batty is how slow the Avata camera adjusts going from dark to light or light to dark. You tend to hit one of those. You tend to hit one of those areas, and you're blind. You're almost blind for like 2 seconds before the camera actually adjusts. So if they've fixed that on the new one, that would be great. If it's still a little sluggish on that, but it's got better view. Yeah, okay, whatever.
Uh,
Like
Scott,
APS-C versus
Rabbit FPV, good afternoon.
I would say give people a set of polarizing lenses for the camera.
Yeah, you can put them on.
Because that would fix the problem.
Yeah, the Avata filters are fit on an 03 air unit, but they make custom ones that instead of being wide like the ones from DJI, they're circular and they actually lock on to the camera.
Right here, Scott. See, don't need them anymore.
Scott, don't you recognize our host?
That's a good thing, Rodney.
Yeah, Scott was asking me where my glasses were.
You got one eye to go yet, though, right?
Yeah, I do. But you know what? If it wasn't for the fact that my right eye, when I closed my left eye, which is the eye that I had surgery on, everything turns kind of a yellowish color. It's like I'm looking through a very light sunglass lens.
That's the cataract on the inside of the
lens.
lens.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you using?
So if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't even have it done. I'm seeing really clear right now.
Are you using the drops that they gave you?
Yes, I am actually.
Good.
In fact, it is almost time, about another half hour for the third treatment.
Because otherwise, you're going to end up with very, very dry eyes. It's not comfortable.
I'm being very religious about it. Believe me. I haven't missed it yet.
And
it's the one thing about
make sure you wear polarized sunglasses in the sun.
Do what?
Wear polarized sunglasses when you're outside.
Oh yeah,
he should have those he should have that type of sunglass anyway.
Yeah, this is what they gave me to go home in.
Because
the dark ones.
Because when I had LASIK 4 years ago, they gave me the cheap version of those when I got a pair of Maui gyms that I got from Dad's company years ago.
You know, Rodney, you know what that reminds me of?
What?
That you're going to Chicago to pay the tax bill.
Oh, yes.
Blues Brothers.
Yes. Yeah. Somebody said
with those sunglasses on. Yeah, Blues Brothers.
Somebody said, yeah, you need some Blues Brothers sunglasses. And I went,
dude.
Okay,
yeah,
that's what they are.
More like it.
Yeah.
Do you remember that, Alex?
Yeah. I'm gonna get out of here. I got some errands still yet to run, but I'm gonna let you guys go. I just wanted to pop in and say hello to everybody.
Good to see you.
I'll see everybody a week from today, I think, right? Yep.
Yes, sir.
All
right.
Yes.
All right.
You will.
Catch you guys later.
Later. Have a safe trip down.
So anyway, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this. So.
And a happy Easter.
Yep. Bob Casey, brother, Bob Casey. So, but anyway, yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with that bill in Congress right now. I think it's in the Senate now, right?
Yeah, I think that
the answer is stop worrying about it because we're going to have no say.
I haven't really worried about it at all.
Well, a year ago, Elise Stefanik brought up a similar bill. That bill died. So
this one hasn't.
A few months ago, she's trying again.
Well, somebody's going to have to kind of come out and say, "Look, guys, we got a couple of million people in the United States that already own these drones. If we ban them, they're going to keep flying. So we might as well grandfather them. If you already own it, you can keep flying."
So think about this,
Steve.
They just passed that law on TikTok, right? Which is effectively going to ban TikTok. How many TikTok users are there, and how many drone users are there? If they're going to do it for TikTok, we're outnumbered. Bad.
Yeah, maybe so. Steve, hey, I sent you a link, brother. If you can join us, I'll continue on for another 30 minutes or so.
Steve Carpenter, check your Facebook messages.
In fact, let me, you know what? Maybe I won't end this right now.
Coming from the National Guard and the reserves, Rodney, there's always been all this talk about lowering the from 60 to 55 for the reserves.
Oh yeah.
There ain't enough of us to get them to pass it. Is basically what it boils down to. The politicians don't think we're a big enough voting pool to make the change. So they haven't done it. And there's been everybody, their brother up there trying to make that change and make that happen. And it's never, never happened.
Hey, sir, good morning or good afternoon. I keep saying good morning. Every time I get on an afternoon live stream, I say good morning.
It is 12:30 your time, Rodney?
It's 2:28.
Okay, so you're Eastern.
Yeah, I'm Eastern time. Same time you are.
I thought you were out by Lloyd's.
No.
I mean, I grew up there in Oklahoma, but I'm currently living in Virginia.
You want this one, Rodney? Believe me, you want this one.
Do I?
Yeah, that's the 3.5-inch domain.
Right.
This thing is ungodly agile.
You gonna let me fly it?
I'm bringing it, so sure.
Do what?
I'm bringing it.
Oh, are you? Okay.
I'm bringing my stuff in the baby. I'm driving down, so I can literally throw everything in the car to have it. But yeah,
I'm only going to bring 2 of my FPV drones and my Mavic 2 Air.
Yeah, obviously people that are coming in aren't going to bring everything. So,
but yeah, I wish I could drive. I really wish I could ride down with Brad Alston, but I just don't have the time.
Yeah,
I got to work 4 10-hour days next week just to get Friday off.
Ouch.
And then the week after that, I got to work another 4 10-hour days. But that's easy.
Unless you're 20 years old, then working 30 hours a week is a little too much. Those of us that are older seem to be more willing to work those 60, 70-hour weeks.
I was just going to say, those are my standards. Exactly, Rod.
I can't tell you how many times I've worked that many hours in a freaking week. A lot of times.
I tell you what. Hang on a minute, guys.
Now that's also not to say that all of them in those age groups won't do it, because that's not true. But yeah.
See, Rod, on Facebook, has it asked you to create a pin for Messenger?
I think on my phone it may have. I ignored it. Well, I'm not gonna be back. I didn't do it.
How do you ignore it? How do you ignore it?
I closed it.
Make sure you close the door, Colin.
There was like an X or something, and I just X'd out of it.
I think Steve Carpenter is going to join us. He said he was headed for the computer. So
I didn't know, Rod. I didn't know if there was any downfall if you don't create a pin for Messenger.
I mean, it's always good to implement anything security-wise that's extra security. So
I didn't even know about it until recently that you had to create one. I'm like, I've never had this problem.
Passwords are going to go away. Multi-factor authentication is here to stay. Passwords are going to be dead. Biometrics and multi-factor are it.
So they're going to use your face to log into Facebook then?
They can. They've been able to do it for a long time, ever since they added support for that in Windows.
Hey, Steve.
Just people did bother to take advantage of it. Hello, Mr. Steve.
Andrew
Carpenter.
Rob, everybody in chat, hello.
So how you been doing, buddy?
Good. Been busy. Just all my nonprofit work, and then stuff at the city.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what stupid thing does the city do now?
No. I'm on two things there. I'm on the General Plan Advisory Committee for the next 25 years. What our city's going to do.
Oh, the 25-year plan.
Yeah. So
Build a desalination plant. That's what you're gonna do.
well, that's going forward. That's going to be
Yeah, I'm
part of
sure.
our water district.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'll be right back, guys.
That's not even having anything to do with this. That's already approved, and it got approval through Coastal Commission. So it's just getting the financing done.
And finding the power to run the thing.
No, actually, their program that they have, the way they're designing the building, is going to generate a lot of power, and the rest of it can come in from the outside.
Great. So
who's gonna pay for any bridges then?
Who's going to pay for what?
Bridges.
Breakage.
bridge.
Oh,
AKA the Baltimore Bridge.
oh, that you know what that is? It's called the ship line.
Yeah.
Maybe the owner should pay for that.
Well, no, the corporation. Remember, there's the ship, then there's two agencies, one that operates it, and then one that is leasing it. So
Oh
it's
yeah, managing it.
three entities in there.
Yeah, that's going to be ungodly expensive insurance payout.
Rod, did you see the comparison between the Baltimore Bridge to the one in Florida from 1980 that was hit by the cargo ship?
I don't remember that one. That would have been my middle or junior high years.
Because it was hit in 1980, and then
Was that the Tampa Bridge?
might be
Probably the Sunshine Bridge in Tampa.
because they opened the new one in 1987.
Yeah, which is the Sunshine Bridge.
We got to remember how long, because the original bridge took 5 years to build.
But that bridge is the current Baltimore Bridge is from 1977.
But Steve, to be fair, look at the I-35 bridge in Minneapolis. They cleaned that up and built a new one in a year. 12 months to put that brand new bridge up. So trust me, they can you throw enough money at it, they'll throw enough bodies at it to make it to go faster. The Corps of Engineers has already basically got their plan in place to move the parts that they need in order to open the channel already.
1,000 from the Corps of Engineers plus at least 3 cranes that can hold.
They're gonna start moving that stuff next week, I bet you.
Like 1 million or 4 million pounds a piece.
Yeah, because of the cost, it's costing the commerce. That's the big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
You're talking just the bridge. The commerce loss, unless they can get that thing open.
Yeah, that's the bigger loss to the
$200
insurance.
million a day.
I'm betting most of us have had a car that have come into Baltimore. Because that's the biggest thing that comes in Baltimore is cars.
Well, that's a way to stop the imports coming in.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys, what do you think? Intentional or accident?
That was completely accident.
Accidental.
I'm waiting for the report here.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to hear if that fuel contamination thing is legit.
If it is true, I can see it being either way, depending on where they filled up.
Also, keep in mind the Coast Guard inspected that ship last September and had no deficiencies on it. So,
No,
I
I
don't
heard it.
know.
I heard it did have a deficiency, and the deficiency was reported in the generators.
That was previously. That was from Chile, like several years ago. It's had
Okay.
2 deficiencies. They're both way old.
Mhm.
And the U.S. Coast Guard literally inspected that thing last September with 0 deficiencies
Oh, okay.
as of last September of last year. Now that doesn't mean that it can't break. Ask Rodney; he worked on ships.
Oh no, I know.
I guarantee you, when a ship goes completely dark,
Something
you lose
bad happened.
everything.
And
Everything.
I'm
You lose
wondering.
rudder control. You lose
Everything.
I'm wondering if the generator that they had on board was the correct size for that ship, or if it was undersized.
Well,
No.
Nah,
it wouldn't have been undersized, but I mean, if they if they had engine failure, or and I believe those are diesel driven.
Mhm.
If they had engine failure, then it's quite possible that when the engines quit, they lost their generators at the same time. But then you got your emergency generators, which will kick in, but that's only going to provide minimal power.
mm-hmm,
It may not even allow power back to the rudder.
It's not even it's not a direct replacement of power for sure.
If they completely lose power, there's what we call it dead in the water.
Mm-hmm.
And you're at the mercy of the wind and the currents at that point.
Yeah, and the pilot had already called in an emergency that they had lost power and they were headed for the bridge. The one pilot contacted the bridge.
Yeah.
I think there's another possibility. There might have been water in the fuel.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
fuel
one of
contamination.
that's one of the interesting discussions. But as Steve said, wait for the report. They'll probably have a pretty good idea pretty quick as to what it was. But yeah, the ship lost power, then it came back on, which means they probably swapped over to backup, and then it lost power again. So
and then when it came back up the third time,
I don't think it came back up.
They were trying to start the engines because you could see the smoke coming out of the funnel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at that point, it was already too late.
Yeah.
They even tried dropping the anchor, but as close as they were already, that anchor wouldn't have done much.
No, you're just going to drag it with that much inertia.
I think if they dropped anchor, they would have swung. The ship would have hit the other pylon.
The idea was that they were it was the other pylon was way on the other side. So they dropped the back left with the idea that it would swing the ship left away from that pillar. And ironically, it actually went for whatever reason, when they dropped the anchor, it actually went the other way. It went to the right instead of the left. But they attempted to do the right thing.
Yeah,
so,
and then when it gained power back, the rudder could have already been turned the direction they were trying to compensate for, which made it even worse.
And I think that's kind of what happened. If you watch the one video, you could literally kind of see the ass end of the ship when the power came back on the second time, kind of jerk. And I was like, I wonder if the rudder was with them trying to salvage the thing, right? And the rudder ended up the wrong way. Mm-hmm. As Rodney and I can tell you, when you're flying FPV, that happens to you all the time, where you end up pointing the wrong direction and go, oh crap, and crash. Don't you, Rodney?
Yep.
Instead of going left, you went right. Ah, crap.
Well,
I think we've all done that.
It's tragic. It really is, especially for
100%.
the loss of lives of those construction workers up there, and why they weren't contacted. Because you can see that last car after they shut it down. You see the last car hitting the concrete, hit the concrete, and then the bridge starts to collapse. But you can see all 3 of the construction vehicles on the bridge, and you can see them going down with the bridge.
So a cop was about to go onto the bridge to warn them when it went down. He was literally in his car. It started to head that way when the bridge went down, according to the radio.
I know there's one semi driver that's probably feeling pretty lucky at the moment.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I heard about that.
Just before the bridge collapsed, a semi had just finished
Yeah.
going over the bridge.
Yep.
And then there was
And then it
two
went
cars.
boom, 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 boom.
And then there was 2 cars after that semi that made it through.
Yeah. So
Somebody was watching over them is all I can say.
you know,
Mm.
thank goodness that
wasn't
wasn't
rush hour.
at like rush hour.
1 p.m. instead of 1 a.m. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Or-
Could you imagine
even-
if it was,
even worse.
say, 9 a.m.?
In the early morning when people are going to work, and then when people are
Yeah,
going
the
to
bridge would have been
not work.
full.
At 9
It would have been
at
full.
9 a.m. or 5 p.m., that area is a mess.
Oh, I
Yeah.
imagine, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's pure tragedy. I doubt it's even one of those that that it turns out to be like crew neglect of maintenance jobs and tasks and things like that. Especially if it ends up just being the contaminated fuel kind of problem. Like they all got screwed. They were all doing their jobs and got screwed.
Well, the contaminated fuel, you've got buffer or you've got scrubbers that are going through and cleaning the fuel before it's
the
going
filters.
into the tanks, because you got your main tank, then it's pumping in through the filtration system with scrubber and then puts it into the using tanks that are running. And if that would have had to been super contaminated, or they didn't have their filtration system, the filters, cleaned and replaced properly, that could be. I mean, there's a lot of different things when you're talking about on a fuel supply. That is a whole bunch of different things that could
Or
happen.
maybe they're built like maybe that ship's built like the U.S. aircraft carriers that seem to somehow keep getting jet fuel in their potable water on board the ship, and they'd
Just
have
not
to keep
aircraft
cleaning it out.
carriers.
I heard.
I
about
guarantee you that it ain't just aircraft carriers.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not,
I had-
Rodney, but
I've had plenty of cup of coffee and plenty of cup of bug juice that tasted more like diesel fuel than coffee or bug juice.
it really makes you wonder how the hell they could build those
It's
things
like,
and get those pipes crossed
is-
over.
Is
somewhere.
this diesel? Am I drinking diesel?
That's not what it. But you know what? When that happens, if you're lucky enough not to get diarrhea, you actually grow accustomed to it. So
Sad but true. That's
it
probably
is.
sad but true.
It's sad but true. You get accustomed to it, but then when it finally gets cleaned out, then you. I'm not going to say you're going to miss it because I sure didn't. But
Really? You prefer the flavor stuff, don't you?
Okay, so Rodney, you're saying
Not
I
me.
should.
I'm a
You're
straight
saying I
guy.
should go to the. You should say you're saying I should go to the gas station and take a coffee cup and fill it up with some diesel fuel and give it to you instead of giving you coffee at the
just a
throwing
little
meat up.
Just
a little?
enough
a
just
few
enough
scoops
to
of
have
grinds. Just put
To
the
ma- to
grinds
make you-
directly in it.
To make you feel at home, like you were back on board ship.
Now, I tell you what, Roddy, if you bring me a cup of coffee while I'm there, I'm not drinking it. And I don't trust you, brother.
Of course not. I'm from the Army. When would the Navy ever trust the Army? Or the other way around?
So we got the Army and the Air Force and the Navy
Oh, yeah.
represented here. Andrew, were you in the service at all?
Nope.
Okay, well, we got
Actually,
the represented too.
Grab was Army, so
Captain Joe, was Marine Corps,
Yeah,
Marine Corps.
and his son is in the Marine Corps now. So
Mhm.
it's interesting. It's interesting, those of us that are attached to the military that are in this hobby.
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
yeah, my great grandfather was Navy.
And
Was it?
despite all the ribbing, that is just good fun between the services. We've been doing that crap forever and ever and ever. Ribbing.
And it'll never stop.
It'll never stop, and it's
It
pure, utter respect for all sides.
went on in the British Navy, and when the U.S. Navy formed, we just carried that tradition right on.
Rod, this is what, the 500-year ribbing?
Yeah, something. But
Yeah, because my dad was in the Navy. In fact, he was on the original USS Fletcher. destroyer.
Oh, Jesus.
That
That
was the
thing's got a
best class
reputation from
destroyer in
World War
War
II.
II, man.
Yep, it did.
Yeah, that thing had a hell of a combat record.
It did. Without doubt. He was a radar man.
So does the USS Iowa,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the destroyer.
The Iowa is a battleship.
battleship.
They didn't really get used much. By the time they actually came into service, about all they got to do was bombard Okinawa.
If
Well, that
if
was
we need
enough.
Yeah, oh no, no
send-
doubt. 100%.
if we need to send old school battleships, we would send the USS Iowa because it doesn't have much electronics.
Well,
Can't
it has a lot more than you would think.
Remember, they modernized them in the 80s under
Yeah,
Reagan.
when they brought the Jersey,
And put all the
the
crew and put the
Iowa,
cruise missiles, which means they have the radars and the electronics for all the radars and all that stuff. So
yeah, it's not like the old school, but the World War II type battleships where they didn't have that much electronics, but they had enough radar and stuff to accurately fire those 16-inch guns.
They
So,
still look badass though.
Oh, without a
I
doubt.
won't argue with you there, man.
you
know,
You see that coming up over the horizon. It's going, whoa! Back
when
off.
I was stationed on the USS Preble out of Norfolk, we did a NATO cruise, and we had a German admiral that was in charge of the NATO force, and we went to the Caribbean, and we were following the not the New Jersey, but the Iowa. Now this was like a month and a half before Mount 2 on the Iowa blew up, so they still had all three gun mounts, and they were going to give a demonstration firing for the German admiral. And man, I tell you what, you'll never get as impressed as you would get seeing those guns go off. We were 500 yards behind them, and when they fired those guns, we could still feel the percussion,
The vibration.
Yeah.
The amazing part is, I forget when they do a full broadside with all 9 guns. I forget what the distance is that the ship moves sideways when they shoot all 9 of them. It's actually, I don't know, 40, 50 feet or something like that. It's a pretty good.
Much.
It's not that much. It's still they go sideways.
It probably goes about 4 feet.
Yeah, but think how heavy that thing is, that it just pushes 4 feet sideways in the water.
Yeah, but they fired their guns, and the way they did it is they started with Mount 1, and they fired one gun from Mount 1, one gun from Mount 2, and then one gun from Mount 3. Then they went back and fired 2, 2, 2, 2, and they just and then they ripple fired. So it went 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it was boom, 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 9 times. And then they did a full broadside with just the 16-inch guns. And that
could they fire all of them at once together?
Yeah, they can.
Yes, they can.
Yeah, they can.
And
that must have been fun.
The last broadside they did included their 5-inch guns, which they had 8 per side. So they fired a full broadside with all their guns on it was on the starboard side. And man, I tell you what, that is impressive.
Talk about a concussion. Sound concussion.
No kidding.
Yeah, when I was
ear protection.
So I was in the field artillery, and one of our FOs, forward observers, he'd been around a while, but he was in Lebanon when Beirut went down. But he got the call in, and I don't remember whether it was New Jersey or the Wisconsin that was over there. but he got to call in fire from there, and he said the crater that shell made was like more than 1,000 feet wide. He's just like, that crater is freaking massive from one of those shells.
How good is shooting a Volkswagen, basically.
Volkswagen, 2,300 and something pounds. Yep. My 155, an HE round was 92 pounds. So,
That's heavy. It's interesting to see, is for people that have never seen it, is the diagram that shows everything of. It's a cutaway view of where they're loading in, then the powder stations and below that, and all the bags that are in there, and how they're put in from one chamber to another chamber, so you don't get the chance of it taking out the whole entire powder backup bank.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That must
have
been an awesome experience.
I got a chance to go on board a U.S. Los Angeles class attack submarine when it was down here in San Diego about 10 years ago, and had a chance to go on board. And it was coming in for being retrofitted. And you go down in just a torpedo bay. We were able to get into the torpedo bay and see all of that area. The only thing we were not allowed to do is go to the nuclear propulsion area. That's off limits. No one's allowed in that area. And I know that the upright, because it carries 6 upright cruise missiles, besides they had cruise missiles that sat in the torpedo bank that they can launch out of the tubes, out of the torpedo launch. But you're sitting there, and I'll never forget, and we were able to take pictures. I've got a picture. I'll have to dig it out one of these days. And it has these safety cones over the front of the torpedoes, but also the cruise missile, because it's got, the electronics in the front. It's got and it's got all this like shark teeth thing, and it says "bite me" across the front of it. But you're sitting there going over there going, gee whiz, this is a missile that can be activated real quick. But the guy that gave us our tour, he was the nuclear officer for the submarine. This guy was 6'3", and if anybody knows anything about submarines, it is low everywhere. That guy you just see him. His head would be down. He'd be walking along, and he knew exactly when and where to stand up every place on that ship we went.
Oh, he probably learned the hard way.
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
It's like if anybody on this tour is over 6 foot tall, duck when I duck.
Yeah, in the Army, you always knew who the tankers were, because they're all about 5'7". That's literally all the tankers. They're all freaking short. All the short guys go to the tanks. So speaking of good news, Rodney, since I depressed you earlier, on the nuclear side, some of the stuff I've been reading is, my God, are we getting close on fusion power? Really close.
What's up, Technique?
Probably by 2030s, mid 2030s, we may be able to bring the first fusion power plant online. But they've figured out the materials. They figured out how to start it. They've actually used AI to fix the magnetic field. They've learned to train one, because one of the things with the fusion, obviously, 180 million degree material plasma, you don't just use a plastic bowl to hold that stuff. It's held with magnetic fields. The problem is those magnetic fields can sort of develop holes in it, which will stop the fusion. So they've trained an AI to actually be able to see those things. And right now, it's about 300 milliseconds before it fails, so that it can adjust the magnetic field to stop the hole from occurring. Using AI, which will allow them to do stable fusion.
So this AI is quite stable then.
What do you do, Rod? Do you sit around all day when you're not flying, researching stuff?
Hey, Rodney, you want to know what my nickname was? You want to know what my nickname was in the military?
No.
It
Yeah.
fits. It fits really bloody well for me. They because they kind of ask similar questions. My nickname was Brainiac.
Brainiac.
Brainiac. That's what they called me because they kind of asked the same.
What's up?
I'm a fan of technology and history, and yeah, I read a lot. I read a lot of news stuff and keep an eye on interesting things.
East Coast Thrills. Good afternoon.
Always good. Keep your mind working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they even managed to X-ray a singular atom, electron, neutron. Anyways, a singular thing with an X-ray. It was like, why are they doing that? Okay, whatever.
But certain ships will work on putting lasers on our
that's
Navy
been
ships.
coming for a long time. That's going to happen. We've been shooting artillery shells.
Lasers.
Yeah, we've been shooting artillery shells, and they have the system. It fits on a Humvee out in Fort Sill, Oklahoma. They've been testing that for almost 10 years. And they've literally shot artillery shells out of the sky with the laser.
They tested at like whatchamacallit, the UFO Area 51.
Area
White
51.
Sands? A lot
Area
of testing
51.
out. Oh,
Nevada.
No. That's more for the planes.
No.
White Sands would be where they test missiles and
missiles. Yeah, exactly. It's White Sands. MLRS is some of it's white. Some of the initial testing is in White Sands, and then it goes to Fort Sill and Lawton by Lloyd.
That's where the first atomic bomb was.
White Sands.
I heard atomic bomb that's like more powerful than the last one that we put on Hiroshima.
We're always
every nuclear warhead that's on board, even a submarine, is like 3 to 10 times the size of Hiroshima.
And way smaller.
Lasers on gas. That'd be funny.
They're talking about getting more into more on hydrogen. I know.
Well,
are you looking for your nuclear reactor in your pocket, Rodney?
He's looking for
right.
He's looking.
We better watch what we're talking about, guys. The NSA is probably zeroing in on us now.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Probably they've already done it, and they can hear a knock on the door there pretty quick.
We haven't.
I'm actually looking for my eye drops.
Oh yeah, it is about time for your eye drops.
Rodney, are they in this pocket up here?
Shirt pocket.
Or if you have one over here.
Maybe you left it in the bathroom.
No,
your bedroom. It's a tiny bottle. No wonder you couldn't find it.
Jesus.
Yeah, well, I keep it in my pocket where I put on everything. People.
Hey Rodney, why don't you put it in your shirt pocket?
Starboard lift fall out. My pocket is so heavy from all the crap I've got in it.
Take your phone out and put your eye drops in there. This top pocket.
Yeah, just put it in the shirt pocket.
That's reserved for the phone.
The phone can wait right now. You need the eye drops when you need the phone.
All right, guys.
Come on, you know how to prioritize. I mean, your sea bag can only hold so many things.
Steve, has Facebook asked you to add a pin to Messenger?
No.
Do you know anything about it?
No.
Oh.
But anybody who's been in the military, you learn to pack light because your duffel bags aren't that big. So you make choices about what you pack and what you don't pack.
Well, we all pack underwear, obviously.
Well, that's even like when I travel. When I used to fly in the service, but even afterwards and fly, I checked my bag in, but always in my carry-on. I'll carry another change of clothes in there, my toothbrush and my medicine that I need. So no matter if
Just in
I'm laid
case.
up, I've got at least the clothes on me and another extra pair, and I'm set.
Yep. That's good advice for
I'd-
anybody.
I'd bring the medicine to carry on in case your bag that you check gets lost. So that way you don't lose the medicine.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm supposed to do this 2 to 3 minutes apart, so I better wait.
So Rodney, you're going into Orlando and then taking a rental car from there?
Yeah.
Did you look at taking that train at all and then getting a car on the other end?
I didn't even know there was a train.
The Bright Line train goes from the Orlando airport. The high speed train actually goes from the Orlando airport all the way down to Miami. I think the closest one to their station is probably at the moment, I think it's Lauderdale. But they're talking about putting a station in Fort Stewart right there. Or in not Fort
Well,
not
I'm okay with renting
Port St. Lucie. Stewart. Port St. Lucie right
Oh,
there.
if it ends up Port St. Lucie, that'd be not far.
That'd
from
be
what people
perfect for
go.
the drone meetup to have a freaking drop-off station there. Yeah.
So yeah, I'll fly in. I'll be in Orlando Friday morning, probably around 11. My
East
flight's
Coast.
supposed to arrive. I'll catch the rental car. I figure I should be in Stewart at least by 3.
Yeah, easy.
And then Sunday, I'll probably leave Stewart probably around 1 or 2 and go back to Orlando, turn my car in. I got a hotel in Orlando for Sunday night, and then I'll catch the early morning flight out again. Because I always like to fly the really early flights.
Yeah. You always should, because if the plane gets messed up, your odds of getting back home the same day are a lot better than if it's a late flight and the flight gets messed up.
Yeah.
So according to what I'm looking at on Google, Rodney, it's about 2 hours and 7 minutes from Orlando Airport to Stewart.
Yeah. So figure it'll take me, if the flight gets in at 11, I'll probably leave Orlando around 12:30 or so.
Of course, you're going to need money for the toll fare because it's taking you down the turnpike, which you should do.
How much is the toll?
Is that one under construction, Ron?
What? The toll
turnpike?
road? No, the
Yeah.
turnpike's been there. That piece of the turnpike's been there forever.
Is there an app or something you can run through to pay it, or no?
Easy
They're
Pass.
toll
If you
booths?
easy Pass, if you have the little portable device, you can take it with you. Actually, the rental car guys it should be actually, Rodney, when you get there, when you get the rental car, make sure that it has the e-pass for the car.
Yeah, I usually do, especially when I go to Texas. Because every road in the Dallas-Fort Worth area,
God, is terrible with
except
that.
for 635 and 35, those are the only 2 roads that aren't toll roads. Or in 75, but 75 is not an interstate.
Go ahead, drive on presidential George W. Bush,
That's
and
crazy.
pay the toll on the presidential
Many
tollway.
a times, brother.
I'm sorry.
I know
that's
exactly what you're
crazy.
talking
There's
about.
only 2 highways that are not toll roads.
And even in Austin, everything over there, most of the stuff is turned into toll roads over there.
Yeah.
There's only 1 toll road in all of upstate South Carolina. 1. And it's privately owned.
They built a toll road in the San Diego area.
Oh yeah, down the 15 coming in from the Inland Empire. It's ridiculous.
I don't know if it's down 15, but it goes from like the Otay Lakes area.
Mm-hmm.
and it goes north.
Yeah, it's
And,
going to It's going up to 15.
Is it?
Not up to
Okay.
not up to 5.
And I was out there on a business trip when I was working for Cornerstone Automation in Texas, and one of the one of our customers took us to lunch at a cheesecake factory, and we went up that road. Busiest time of the day it seemed like, and there was no traffic on it.
Yeah.
And he was telling us it's privately owned.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's insane.
Well,
I know
now
where they need to build a road in Florida, because I run into the road jam every day. They need to build a toll road or something that goes from Jacksonville to Orlando. Because right now everybody comes down 95 and then takes I-4 out of Daytona, and that 95 I-4 intersection is always freaking jammed. If I'm driving south and I go past that, like half the traffic disappears because they all went to I-4. They literally need to build from Jacksonville to the north end of Orlando and build something.
It's been like that for at least 20 years.
You got all the tourists from the East Coast coming down I-95, and then you have the truck traffic obviously delivering to the Orlando stuff. That if they build a route from Jacksonville to Orlando, would take all of that crap away instead of going 95 I-4. I-4 is a freaking zoo as it is, anyways.
Sounds like they just need a redesign. A new road area redesign. It's just going to cost a penny.
It's not redesign. You got to buy property up in order to put new roads in. So that's the only way you can do is by adding on.
The good news is that part of that goes to, the good news, bad news is part of that goes to the Ocala National Forest. So the environmentalists would be yelling and screaming. But
how's your lunch, Steve?
Good, thank you.
Oh, that's right. It is lunchtime out there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's actually my breakfast.
You didn't have breakfast?
No, I got up and left over to go over to where the project is, the building, and this morning. Then I had to run over to Home Depot, and then I came back.
actually, there's a road that they could probably turn into that. It's 17 and then 19 out of Jacksonville. They could just take that road and turn it into a turnpike.
At least Charleston to, I think, almost Columbia, South Carolina is called 17. I don't know if it goes further south or not.
The zoo I hate in your neck of the woods when I go back to Ohio is 26 between 95 and Columbia.
Oh, yes, 26. Right now,
Try to get over to 77 to head north.
There's a few stretches they're working on widening 26.
Yeah, 26 is a freaking zoo. Once you get to 77 north of Columbia, then you're okay.
Just don't go through the North Carolina mountains in the snow.
No.
Because then you'll end up.
That's a pretty route, though. 77 is a really pretty route.
If you go through the mountains in the snow, then you run into more car crashes.
Yeah, obviously. So
we did that once.
One of these days, one of these weekends, sometime this summer, Rodney. I think I told you this before, and I told Brad the same thing. One of these weekends, I'm going to come up and we'll meet in Richmond or whatever, and
that would be awesome,
and
man.
Fly. So
that would be awesome. Al Duran knows some good places to fly in Richmond.
Yeah, he does.
Has he found another quote unquote secret spot?
Yeah, he has a ton of secret spots. He got kicked out of one of them.
I don't know. Right there by the river, by the rail yard is where the railroad.
There you go.
is.
You can share. You can share this. This is what California is doing now. This is a wildlife crossing that they're building across the U.S. 101.
I saw a rendering of that, but I
Yep.
didn't know where in the world it was.
Wow.
It's on the 101 US 101 through Los Angeles.
I guess they
where
have
it
way
is
too
right
many
now.
deer.
This is well, deer, mountain lion, everything.
Really? Have the cars hit the mountain lions yet?
Yeah, they had one time. It's been a long time. In fact, we just had here in Orange County here somebody that was mauled by a mountain lion.
Although, you know, Rodney, if you were a mountain lion and you looked at this map, I know where I'd go sit so I could hunt.
Yeah,
That's right.
They're all fuddling. They're all fuddling through this little spot. I'm just gonna sit here. The food's gonna come to me.
You're just gonna go to the ridge on the far side up on that hill.
It's going to take them up over to here and then take them up to here. But there's, as you can see here, there's a lot of construction that's even up on the hillside over here. But it goes up and it goes up into the hills.
Mm-hmm. So
but it's expensive, I guess, Steve.
No offense to you, Steve, but I would not want to own any property in California unless it was in the Sierras.
That's true. Well, or if you bought it a long time ago.
yeah, exactly.
Like I have.
I mean,
40
you know,
years ago.
I know you own property, so I mean, you own your house and stuff, and I get that. So, but California is just way too liberal for me.
Hey, you could spend $400,000 and you own your own shed.
That's right.
If you need something bigger, you're gonna have to spend a little more.
You know, when I retired from the Navy, California sent me a letter saying that I didn't pay California taxes on my retirement. And I sent a letter back saying I don't owe taxes on my Navy retirement to you because my home of record has always been Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you retired in California and we got to claim. No. And they just finally left me alone because I just told them, well, you're not going to get it. So if you're going to take me to court, you're going to have to do it. That means you're going to have to pay to have somebody come out here and extradite me. And this and that, you know. They dropped it. They left me alone.
And the PR of the newspaper and the PR of the newspapers and television stations of them picking on a veteran.
Well,
yeah, that'll go over well.
A friend of mine moved to Arizona, and mind you, he works in Arizona. Okay, he lived here just in the neighboring town in San Juan Capistrano. Moved to Arizona. Well, he works remotely for this company that does. They make third-party chips that they can guarantee are 100% compatible with the manufacturer OEM chip. And they are just a thorn in everybody's side. But he controls their servers in Irvine, California. So he's in California here. Is where he's communicating to. And also into the UK. That's where their two main servers are for the corporation. Well, everything is remote. He moves out. They're trying to tax him for moving out, number one. But then because he is logging in to a server in California is what they were trying to get him for, then he has to pay the taxes on state taxes in California.
Shouldn't the company have to pay that because he was working for the company? Doing
that? He's getting paid. Crazy. He's getting paid.
California's crazy.
Oh, it is.
That's nuts.
And this, they say we got it was at 30-some billion in the hole. Now it's done by the independent review, and it's 60-some billion.
Yeah, I was going to say I thought that number was 60.
And in essence, it's about 130 some billion in the hole.
So, are you looking forward to this summer and all the brownouts?
Yeah, because I don't have to worry about it. I don't have an electric car, so it isn't it. It was like two days after Newsom said 2035, all new vehicles sold in the state will be 100%, zero emissions. So he puts that out. 2 days later, CalISO, which is the controlling electrical company for the whole entire electric grid of California, comes up and said, you cannot charge your electric vehicles for the next 5 days.
I knew that was coming.
Oh, this is a couple years ago.
Yeah, I remember.
I saw that.
That made big news.
Yeah, it was worldwide. And what's ironic is Volkswagen just got through our bill that got passed through. Did you hear about the 400 and some odd million that's in that $1.2 trillion bill that's going to Volkswagen for their EV division?
No.
And
I'm
yet
not
all of them are tanked. Tesla took almost a 30% hit on their revenues, what they're predicting.
So I heard there's a rumor Tesla wants to move to Texas.
They're
have.
already in Texas.
Yeah.
That's where the gigaplant is. Billy Kyle flew it.
They pissed him off,
Oh.
so he moved it. He moved the headquarters.
He went to tell you, Andrew, how
Yes.
the stupidity of our government is here in California. And yes, I'm talking to you, Gavin Newsom. He went through, and when he pulled out, he started the process of building his gigaplant here in California. Hit. He went over there and found out about the property in Texas, got a hold of it, took it on, had it built, complete, and operational. He would have not even finished the paperwork to start construction here in California during the same time. He's a fully operational, buy the property, have the plant built, fully operational, and he would have not even been past the permitting process there.
Wow.
That's crazy.
And that's when he turned around and said to Newsom,
Well,
the billions in taxes that they would have collected off of him being here.
Oh God.
oh, I know. I mean, to me, California taxes for the private citizen is way too high. It's got to be even higher for industry.
That would be at least several billion.
Are you going to cry for the state of Washington and Bezos moving to Florida?
Oh yeah, I heard.
No.
He sold like $12 billion in stock and saved I forget how much, 6-7 billion in taxes because he was living in Florida instead of the state of Washington.
Yep.
That's Amazon, right? Bezos?
Yeah, that's Amazon. Yeah.
So Amazon's moving out of Washington?
No. Bezos moved. Amazon's not
himself.
moving, but he himself moved.
Yeah,
And then after he moved, he sold like $12 billion in stock.
Is he moving to Millionaires Row?
Mm-hmm.
No,
Somewhere
he's
down.
Billionaires Row.
Yeah.
Billionaire
He's
Row,
out of that. He's out of that area. Yes. Yeah.
Well, today's the 30th. What today? The 29th. On April 1st, all fast food restaurants or restaurants that serve, food through the counter and out, the minimum wages go to $20 an hour for working.
Yeah. And how many of them have been laid off now?
Well, this is where I was just going to go to. Look at this. If you look at the CPI index and you look at the filings for unemployment, 426,000 people filed for unemployment last month. There's 2 franchise holders that have all the Domino's Pizza in Orange County and Los Angeles. They're laying off 1,200 drivers.
Yeah, they laid off all the drivers. Yeah, I'd heard that.
Yeah, like in New York State, there's not much left of Pizza Hut at all.
So you know what they're doing, right? They're going to outsource. They're going to outsource the delivery.
Because
So that
Uber
they're
Eats
not. So
and
it's not.
Uber
So it's
Eats
not their.
and yeah.
So it's not their employee anymore. So that's how they're getting around it.
a few miles from where I used to live was Pizza Hut. Well, now that building is going to become a local fish place. Second location.
There's a Hardee's. There's a Hardee's kind of on my way to where I fly. They have an automated AI order taker. It works really damn well. Just to have an employee. So all they're doing in California is gonna help the IT tech world because they're gonna automate the crap out of the restaurants. Pretty soon, it's gonna be one IT guy to control all the crap inside the restaurant.
McDonald's and their order systems. I gotta know. It's like the niece's husband. He works in a place in Chicago where they're at, and it builds all the automatic order screens and everything for all of McDonald's. They're all through every single McDonald's here.
Mm-hmm.
They've taken away a person at the register.
Mm-hmm.
Rod,
they did that a while ago.
Yeah.
Rod, does it say? Did you say?
Well, the other piece
when
to
you
this,
said
Steve,
actually said chicken.
Yeah. The other piece to this, Steve, is you'll also notice that they're really, really pushing people to order on the app, right? And use the app because then they don't need a person to deal with any of that. You just order, you show up, you go through the drive-through,
yeah,
and pick it up because you ordered off the app, kind of thing.
Depending on the time of day, you might be better off going inside because otherwise the drive-through line is a lot longer.
Yeah.
And if you go in to get it.
They opened a Chick-fil-A in Valet or in Dahlgren where I work.
Mm-hmm.
And for like 2 months, the traffic through that area was just horrendous.
We have, no matter which Chick-fil-A you're here, you got backup lines every single place.
Yeah. And the way they developed their drive-through line is it's like 2 lanes. In fact, I think it's 3 lanes.
Wow.
And then it narrows down to 2, and then it narrows down to 1. And that's how you, by the time you get around to the other window, your order's ready. And they're real good at it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just amazing how good they are with it.
Unless someone has a huge order, that line moves quick.
It does.
In Daytona, they made them tear it down, the Chick-fil-A down, and rebuild it because the line was causing traffic out into the International Speedway and stuff. So they literally made them tear it down and rebuild it. So now it has the multiple lines and everything like that to get people in and out of.
Hang on, guys. Someone at the door. I'll be right back.
Okay.
The ironic part of it is once they started building it, it only took them like 2 months to build the building.
It
went up fast.
They did that out in Seneca, South Carolina, where they had to redo the line for the building.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what happened here. They were causing traffic issues, so they made them tear it down.
They had the same problem, so they just redid how they do the line around the building.
We had a In-N-Out Burger here in San Juan Capistrano. It's on a side street paralleling the freeway in between the city of Laguna Niguel and San Juan. They put a brand new one in San Juan Capistrano, which is not far from where the Mission is. And the street that's there is, it's a raceway. And they put one in there. Those. The one that was out on, which just goes out, the name of the street's coming to Capistrano, they would have 2 turn-ins going in, and then you went in and you went on splitting 2 sides of the booth, so you're getting delivered on both sides. They have people out there with order, tablets, taking the orders from people. You weren't doing it over the speaker. You were taking the orders right there and then putting them in order to get them off.
What restaurant is this?
In-N-Out Burger there in San Juan.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've eaten at an In-N-Out.
Yeah.
They do that Chick-fil-A now with the iPads.
I hear in the next couple of years we're getting up here In-N-Out Burger.
Really?
Yeah. They're going to make up. They're going to be probably to make up for the one that they had to close down in Oakland.
Mm.
The only store
It-
out of the In-N-Out franchise gets shut down. One of the worst crime areas there is.
Steve, is it any good? In-N-Out.
Delicious.
Do you
And
know
they're fast. And everything's cooked to order right then and there.
Yeah.
how about, have you heard of Habit Burger?
Yeah.
Are
They're
they
good too.
Okay. I'll have to check it out.
I like
then.
Five Guys, but
I just
God,
got
are they expensive.
Everybody's gotten expensive, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. You're not wrong. You're not wrong on that.
I'm gonna wait and see what happens now when you go over April 1st and watch the prices on all these places go up.
Oh
no
yeah,
kidding.
California. Yeah, good luck.
If you want milkshakes, thick milkshakes, go to Cookout.
Cookout's
Never heard
pretty
of it.
good.
That's
We've
where
got
the
a
milkshakes
cookout
are.
here in Fredericksburg. 2 of them actually.
Yeah. In-N-Out burger shakes are pretty good too.
I got Chick-fil-A, and across the street from Chick-fil-A is Cookout.
How
Oh,
about
wow.
Shake and Steak? Are their
And
shakes
then
any
Habit
good?
Burger, and then Habit Burger, and then Sonic.
Never
I was
had one
never
from
impressed
there.
with Shake and Steak.
I think I've only eaten in one of those once in my life.
Their shakes were okay, but I wasn't real thrilled about their food.
I think that's mostly a Midwest thing. Steak and Shake.
Yeah, I know
Probably.
they're in Texas.
Yeah, they're in Ohio, where I'm from, as well. Yeah, I
Which
think
part
I
of
ate there
Ohio?
and they realized that, boy, this place is expensive, and I never went back. North
You
Central.
know, I heard everybody talk about, you got to go to White Castle because I was going to in Columbia, Ohio.
Yeah.
They kept telling me, all my coworkers, you got to go try White Castle, and I went, and man, those were the worst burgers I ever had.
It's called Slider for a reason.
Well, they're greasy as hell.
Yeah, that's why it's a Slider
mine
thing.
were so dry that they just didn't taste good.
Oh, that's weird. Normally they're way too greasy.
Weird. Yeah,
Yeah.
because they're based in Indiana, and so a lot of the burgers are greasy.
Columbus, Ohio is where they were created.
Because
White Castles. The very first one was on North. The very first White Castle was on North High Street in Columbus. That's where they're from.
There's one down the street from Lucas Oil's in Indianapolis.
Yeah, but they're headquartered in Ohio because that's where they're from.
Anyway, guys, I need to end this. So I do appreciate you guys coming in. Steve, it's good to see you again. Let me ask
Good to see you, Steve.
Are you going to be at the South Florida Drone Meetup?
No, I can't. I got to be here at a hearing for the city.
Okay. Well,
I wish I was. I had it blocked out, and then the city serves us with orders. So
wow.
Is someone streaming the meetup or no?
What's that?
Is somebody streaming?
Oh, I'm sure there'll probably be several people that are going to stream it.
Hey, Steve.
Yes. I think I'm COVID.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they changed that here. Even you can go to work with COVID now.
And then Steve jumps a plane, and nobody can find him. He ends up in Florida.
No, I have to be there because they want to access part of the property, so to widen the road.
That's a pain in the butt process.
Yeah, and this was supposed to have been done last year.
See, they're always behind.
Go at the light speed of government, right?
Yeah, hurry up and wait.
Yeah. Well, Rodney, I wish you safe travels, and I wish everybody a happy Easter.
Happy Easter to everybody.
You too, Steve, and I'm glad you were able to join us today. I know it's been a while since you and I have talked.
Yeah.
So
that's for sure. Yeah, it's like I say, I've just been real busy, but I'm happy for your eyes. When I saw that picture of you in the patch, I'm going, deja vu, I've been there.
Man, I tell you what, I woke up this morning, I come in here and sat down, and I had my glasses on. I'm sitting here like this, and I power up the computer, and I'm like, man, why is everything so blurry even with my glasses on? And I take my glasses off and I'm like, oh, that's why, because I don't need them anymore.
When is the other eye getting done?
April 23rd.
Oh, cool.
Great.
Hopefully you're on the list, so if they have an opening, you can slide in.
What do you mean? Oh,
if they have an opening earlier,
yeah.
if they have an opening,
No, I'm good with
cancels.
waiting. I'm good with waiting. I've got a bunch of stuff going on in between, so I just soon keep it that same schedule.
Between going to Florida, between going to work, between flying his drone, he's got
Doctor
to put things in.
I mean, I got to see my cardiologist. I've got to see my primary care on Tuesday. I got to have they're going to do a angiogram to my kidney to see if there's any kind of blockage there.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's just a lot going on. So even if they have an opening, April 23rd is going to be the day. And the only
keep
thing
in mind
that is if the doctor can't actually do it.
Shortly after, you're going to see it's like, did I get a brand new car? That looks like a different color.
Yeah. Also keep in mind they just rebuilt his throne, so he has to use his new throne.
I tell you what,
i.e. the bathroom.
The bathroom. Bathroom. I mean, you guys know that my bathroom has just been rebuilt, and we had them paint it white. Well, I knew it was white, and it looked white, but it looked like a dingy white.
Oh, because of the cataracts.
So when my eye cleared up, when my left eye finally cleared up, I walked into the bathroom, and I turned on the lights.
Reflection.
And it is like, I'm blind. I mean, it was just crazy. I covered my right eye, and I'm like, wow.
Oh,
it actually is white.
Yeah. Makes a huge difference.
It does. So right now, my right eye would still make it looks dingy now, like I was saying earlier.
Cloudy.
Yeah,
and when that goes away, man, life's going to be great. Life's good right now. I am so happy right now that,
at least everything was smooth, and the next one will be smoother.
Yeah,
anyways,
I hope so.
Because you know exactly what to
Rodney.
All right, Rod.
We'll let you get off of here now, Rodney. You got to keep dragging you on.
Well, I kind of
a
started that thing.
No, just happy for you, sir.
Well, I appreciate it, Steve.
And everybody have a great Easter weekend.
Rod, you too. Have a good Easter.
Sergio, you're late.
Sergio.
Sergio.
Steve, you have a good one, brother.
You too, sir. Take care.
Steve, poke your head in chats once in a while.
Yeah. Take care, Andrew. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye. So everybody in the chat, thank you so much for being in the chat. Don't forget tomorrow morning, the Saturday sunrise, starting with me, weather permitting, which I think it will because it's supposed to be nice tomorrow. And then Scott, Jackrabbit FPV will be after that. And then following Scott will be Saturday morning coffee with Rodney and friends. And then on Sunday, I am not exactly sure what the plan is for Thursday. I know I will probably be doing a sunrise. I think Charlie's going to be doing a sunrise, but I guess it just depends on the plans of the other people. So anyway, you all have a great day. Sergio, man, I'm sorry you came in too late, but while you're here, let me make you a moderator. There you go, brother. I don't know if you and Mike are coming to the South Florida drone meetup. I kind of hope you are. If you are, then I'll see you there. If not, well, maybe next time. Anyway, folks, you all have a great evening and be safe. Don't forget to pray for our country and our servicemen and women. And you all have a good rest of your day. Love y'all. Bye now.